welcome. As you guys know, the pre-patch is coming up in a couple days on July 17th, 2018. So a couple days from now, probably a day from when I upload this, who knows. But you guys know that there's going to be a huge change for all the classes in preparation for BFA. So I'm logged into the beta right now on my Shaman. I have the new class, the Maghar Orc, which is pretty badass. I'm gonna hop off the mount. Look how he stands. It is glorious. So let me do some commands to see what happens. See his dancing. It's just kind of like the orc dance, you know. It pretty much is the orc dance. Nothing new there. But it's just, I think the overall like movement is pretty cool, especially let's say like the casting animation. It's pretty dope, am I right? Pretty dope. So that's one thing to look forward to with the next expansion. You won't get that on Tuesday, unfortunately, but you already have some available classes. You can see that there are new things like the night elf people from, you know, the Nightborn people or whatever, and then you have your high mountains, all that good stuff. So you have things to look forward to. This one you're gonna have to wait for until you finish like the beginning campaign-ish style thing, just like the class hall challenges. And then after that, the Zandalari is coming out in the middle of the expansion, which is pretty exciting. But for now, it's just, yeah, exciting. Just not something you're looking forward to on Tuesday, which this video is about. So as you log in, you notice that your shaman's going to have some new talents, and things are going to change, and things are going to be missing, things are going to be upset. But just, you know, lo and behold, you're not going to have anything new for your abilities per se. You're still going to be able to cast your healing wave, your chain heal, healing surge, riptide, and the healing ring. There's going to be some new nuances to these things, and we'll get into that here momentarily. So we're going to take a look at the talent spec. So you can see right now the talents have definitely updated. There's not going to be multiple windows for the talents, which is pretty fun. There's not going to be a PvP talent page versus a regular talent page. It's all going to be on the same like UI, which is awesome. So that's going to be something to look forward to. Another thing to look forward to is if you do PvP, you get to choose a list, or choose from a list of things to use in your 3 slots. You don't get 6 anymore, but you do get a choice, and you can mix and match basically how you feel. If you want, you know, information about PvP shamans, I would check out Cedu and his videos, because I mean, PvP, we don't really get along. But whatever, he will hook you up and he'll make better videos. But for now, we're just gonna talk a little PvE. Alright, so I'm going to pull up the other abilities that you would have. This is the talent tree for the Resto Shaman in 7.3.5 or 7.3, whatever, in 7. Legion talent spec right now, as of today, before the pre-patch, is what it looks like. Okay, so you can see in the first tier, level 15, nothing has changed. Right, everything is the exact same thing: Torrent and Unleash Life and Undulation. So that one is basically up to you what you want to do. Personally, I like Torrent, so I'm going to go with that. Next tier down, you can see that the Gust of Wind, Graceful Spirit, and Windrush Totem are either moved around or removed. So if you look at the actual talents, you'll see that Windrush Totem is down in 75 with Graceful Spirit. So those have been pushed down a few levels. With the Gust of Wind, that has been removed. So you no longer have Gust of Wind. Okay. In its place, in the tier 30, we get Echo of Elements, which comes up from the level 90s. Deluge, which comes up from the 60s. And then Earth Shield, which comes over from PvP. So everyone's excited to actually, you know, see that. Echo Elements no longer does 10% buff. It just gives the 2 charges to everything. So Riptide, Healing Stream Totem, and Lava Burst gets the 2 charges, and the effects reset. The remaining cooldown will instead grant 1 charge. So I don't know how useful having Echo Elements are going to be. If you use your abilities on cooldown, you just won't ever gain an additional charge. So you'll have the additional charge when you first start, but from there on out it won't be additional charges, so it'll be kind of tough. But you know, to each his own with the playstyle. Deluge is the same; it's kind of worthless, and then Earth Shield is pretty good. When you increase the healing done by 10% of the healing them for X amount when they take damage. This is off 9 charges. The Shaman has additional healing when they're casting, nobody else. And Earth Shield can be placed on one target. So it really just depends on your playstyle. I think a lot of people are still going to bounce between Echo of Elements and Earth Shield. I think that it's pretty much a sure bet that you're going to want to go with Earth Shield. But that's just me, my testing, and also my, I don't want to say arrogance, but reliving the old days, nostalgia, getting Earth Shield back and wanting to use it. Next one, down 45, it's going to be the same ones with the Earth Grab and the Lightning Surge Totem, and oh wait, Spirit Wolf is new. So you don't get the Voodoo anymore. Boom. Voodoo's gone. Who uses Voodoo anyways? I mean, come on. But Spirit Wolf, it comes from your artifact weapon, which is just when you're Wolf, you gain increased movement speed and decreased damage reduction, so that's pretty good. The static charge it combines 2 talents or 2 totems together. So your capacitor totem and also your lightning surge totem gets put together into one, which is just a capacitor totem. So it'll stun enemies up in the max, range for like 20 seconds, and so that's what it's called now. And so this reduces the cooldown of it by 5 seconds when you have that. So let's see what it is pre and post. So capacitor totem is 1 minute cooldown. With this, reduces it for 5 seconds for each enemy stun. So if you get a decent amount of people in there, it could give you a decent cooldown. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be worth it. It depends on the raid versus utility. You can use either Earth Grab or the static charge probably. Spirit Wolf sounds more like a 5-man target play, so I think that's pretty much where we are going to use it. The next one down we have the Earthen Wall Totem, Ancestral Protection Totem, and the Ancestral Figure, which was all part of the level 75. They just shift up a bit. Alright, so these are all, nothing's changed with these. They're all basically the same. So they'll be, good to use. And to note, in the 60 place, we lose Crashing Waves. Crashing Waves used to be in the 30, where Echo of Elements is. In the early of the beta, it was down in the 60 range, but that's now gone. Ancestral Guardian is gone, and then Deluge just moved up right here. Okay, so that's what the 60 is. Playstyle, of course, Earthen Wall. It's if you want additional shield for people. A lot of people go with the increased health, with the Ancestral Vigor, so that's a good to go. 75 is where these used to be. So the level 30 talents move down here, so Graceful Spirit and Windrush Totem, and then we get another talent that comes from our artifact weapon. So with the Graceful Spirit, it no longer gives 10% extra movement speed when you're in Ghost Wolf, but it still reduces the cooldown 50% for your Super Walker's Grace. So it's still pretty much good to use. Windrush Totem is good for 5-mans if you're doing Mythic Pluses trying to help people get through. I think Nature's Guardian would be good leveling spec, and also in dungeons when you're under geared or whatnot. It could be in raid if you're having difficulty staying alive to mechanics, but who knows? Because basically this is from your artifact weapon itself. When your health is brought below 35%, you instantly heal over 20%. So it's like a good oh shit, getting me out of trouble type of thing. But I think between the two, I'd go with the Graceful Spirit. I gotta live your life with the Spirit Walker's Grace for sure. Level 90, this one is going to be interesting. They're all, 2 of these are new talents. Cloudburst Totem is not new, just shifted over. One thing to note about Cloudburst Totem is not as powerful anymore because you do not have your AG to go with it. It also replaces the Healing Stream Totem. So if you have Cloudburst picked, here's your Healing Stream Totem. it now turns into Cloudburst Totem. So that's unfortunate. You know, if you like using your Healing Stream Totem just for your casual heals over and over, you know, you don't get to use that anymore if you have Cloudburst Totem picked. Cloudburst Totem is probably still strong, but I feel like these other abilities are going to be a lot stronger than Cloudburst Totem, but that's just early messing around with them. Flash Flood, when you consume tidal waves, the cast time of your next heal is reduced by 20%. That's actually going to be pretty good in 5-mans when you're running Undulation, Riptide, and Echo of Elements, those type of things. Kind of like teaming up that your heals will be quicker because of the Flash Flood and consuming the tidal wave. So it's a pretty good chaining effect of things, but I think Downpour is going to be the main thing that you're going to want to use. And the Downpour is relatively new. It is fun. A burst of water at the target location heals up to 6 injured allies within your 12 yards for X amount, right? So the cooldown increased by 5 seconds for each target healed effectively. So it's beneficial, let's say that you use it and people run out of it. You don't have a terrible cooldown to wait for, but if you do hit people appropriately, then the cooldown is 35 seconds. So it's not really terrible, but it benefits you if people run out. So you're not stuck with a 30-second cooldown every time you use it and people step out of it and you lose your healing second type of thing. So it's actually beneficial. It's a little bit nerfing if you do hit it, 6 people each time, but I think it'd be overpowered if you're able to heal 6 people over and over and over for 5 seconds at a time. So that right there is going to be it. I'm going to give a little demo of some of these abilities, and I think that you're going to like what Downpour looks like. The last talent, nothing really changes except for Ascendance is now on the global cooldown, so you got to wait to use it. Type of thing. Other than everything else is the same. Wellspring is still the crappy Wellspring that we know, but if you like it, then I apologize for calling it crappy, but that's just the way it is. For my talents that I'm going to pick for raiding, it's really up in the air now, but it's going to be Torrent, Earth Shield, probably one of these two, Static Charge or Earth Grab, depending on the fight. Vigor, Graceful Spirit, Downpour, and then High Tide. That's going to be my raiding talents. As for my 5-mans, Undulation, obviously, probably Earth and Shield, just to have something on the tank while we're running through stuff. Spear Wolf for extra protection for myself and running through things. Ancestral Vigor for sure. Probably one of these two, depending on the type of dungeon, but Graceful Spirit, Downpour, and then Ascension. I'm a big fan of Ascension in 5-mans, and I'll still be a big fan of Ascension in 5-mans, so we're just going to keep going with that. So I'm going to put on Wellspring so we can do a little demo on abilities. Downpour for sure. Anything else I want to actually show what it looks like? Nope, that should be good. All right, let's go to a place where we can actually see some of these abilities being used. I'm going to fly. All right, here we are, getting ready to do some abilities. We're going to hit up this person right here with lovely healing wave. Watery effect is nice. It just kind of jumps over to him, so if you notice it right here, it just kind of looks like a nice little kind of flowing to them. A very nice little heal. Same with the healing surge. It does the same thing. By design, the healing surge is going to do more heal than the healing wave, which is just expected, cast times and whatnot, but it's not mana efficient. Then we got our chain heal that's going to bounce with the water effect, which is amazing. Instead of that yellow green beam, it just kind of flows over to them like so. And then we're going to come over here, we're going to actually let's give someone an Earth Shield. I'm going to give 2 gore. Here we go, 2 gore. Look at that Earth Shield. Oh yeah, floating around you, buddy. Oh, that is so amazing. And then Wellspring. Just kind of like does like a ripple. Look how far that range is. I think it's a pretty cool range for that. Alright. Nice little open area right here. Take a look at my totems. Nice little Naghar style totem. Even better. Then we're going to go with the healing ring. So this is the fun part. We can healing ring and we get people in it, and then you don't get the extra healing ring to jump on top of it. You can actually cast Downpour to do something on top of them, right? So it's always fun to have all those big heals happening when people are together. So team that up with the healing stream totem, get a couple chain heals going. It's amazing if you're standing in this rain. And look at the range of this rain. It's a pretty good range. One other thing that I would like to point out is the range on these totems. So here's my healing tide totem. Look at all those numbers. Just look at them all. There's a pretty good range on those totems. So that's amazing, if you ask me. I like it a lot. Alright, so other than that, there's a few changes to abilities. I said that you didn't lose anything, but everything's basically the same, but that is pretty much a lie. There's some new things that are being removed. Tremor Totem is brand new. JK. It's back. Removing fear, sleep, charms, being able to use. Lightning Surge Totem is now Capacitor Totem, and then everything basically works the same as before. Notable changes: Gust of Wind was replaced, Crashing Waves was replaced, Voodoo Totem is gone, Ancestral Guidance is gone, Bottoms of Pit is gone, and Echo of Elements is moved around. But so that's all that is for the changes so far. I'm thinking that the stats are going to be roughly the same. You know, you stack up your mastery a bit, and you get a good amount of crit strike, some haste, things like that. So I think it really just depends on gearing, on how things look. But I think that's what you're going to be looking at, is going to be mastery, crit strike, and then probably a little bit of haste and a lot of versatility. So we'll see how it goes when the time comes. But for now, this is essentially the Shaman. I played a couple dungeons, and the healing style feels like the same, and so we'll just have to see how things look in the raid when that comes out. So this has been fun. I definitely am enjoying the Shaman. I'm not enjoying the damage side of the Shaman, but that's for another video. So if you do like this video, just please feel free to subscribe, comment below, give me a like, those things. It'd be much appreciated. It's letting me know that what I'm doing is not wasting anybody's time. So yeah, I'm hopefully going to make more videos when BFA is out and live and doing its thing, and then we can just keep on keeping on. And yeah, so from here at the Gummy Studios, have a good one.